Welcome to the bold analysis, ladies and gentlemen. The values, constitutionalism, the democracy, and integrity of this country should not be sacrificed in the altar of power that is covered by a transition narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this. Before I break down that analysis, I want to remind us about Sarah Atieno's fundraiser. Just 2 days to the tail end of it. And for the first timers, we have been running a fundraiser here as Team Bold, donating at least 50 shillings to help one of our subscribers be discharged from the hospital. And after the first 21 days challenge, we were in a position to cover wholesomely, including an insurance cover, 829,000. With a balance of 200,000 in our neck, we decided to make an extension and make sure that this comes to conclusion so that the mission is accomplished. So far, out of the 215, whatever is remaining is around 48,000. I want to reach out to us in a special way that we are still going to achieve this. Kindly, let's help support just at least a donation of 50 shillings. For those of us that have reached out, I continue to say deep from my heart, asanteni sana. Asanteni sana. This means a lot. I don't know how I can thank you, but just in a special way. The number is up there, 0710 62 78 89. Now, I listened to argument by Ruto's lawyers in Supreme Court using a very interesting defense line that Supreme Court judges should not consider nullifying the Ruto's win, and according to them, that will inconvenience Kenyans. And I was feeling that from my hotel room in Siaya Town by some of our few friends, and of course who are members of this channel. And I just asked myself a question. Did Kenyans go to the election on August 9 as a matter of convenience, or it was a democratic exercise that they were going to choose their leaders all the way from the MCA to the president? In fact, elections are normally phenomenal because it is one of the rare opportunity for the Kenyan voter to audit his leader and put the right person in office. It's actually the interview for the Kenyan voter to choose who is going to lead him. We have a representative democracy. So that means that election then is a very critical part of this. If the president was an appointee of some body or members of parliament somewhere, then we'll be talking about a convenience. But I found it a bit of an insult to the Kenyan voter that the argument about integrity of the results can be reduced to a question of convenience. Now, this was treated as, and then it was actually morphed to be seen as something totally different. And I just want you to get it. Ruto's lawyers argued that if Supreme Court was to nullify, then there will be a lacuna in law and the country will be in crisis. I should get this newspaper. This is the Standard. I got this Standard. And in Standard newspaper, page 9, there is this article here. Uhuru shall remain in office till new president is sworn in. This title of that article or of that story was picked from Willis Otieno, um, who was representing one of the petitioners in Supreme Court. I think the Caliph, yes. He was a petitioner in 2017 and also this time round. This is what is said. Um, the systems and functions of government will continue, and lacuna will not affect the people of Kenya. The right thing is to make sure that the people's voices are equally heard in a true, transparent election. Otieno responded to the question by Supreme Court Judge Ibrahim as to whether a lacuna would arise in the country. Because that was a question that was asked by one of the Supreme Court judges. This question came from the respondents who had argued that in any case there was an nullification, there was going to be a lacuna. So I ask, if we were to go for a rerun, or if the election was to go Raila's way, was that going to be a lacuna? It's a question that emerged. This is what he said. This is what Otieno told the court. Our constitutional values and provisions should not be sacrificed at the altar of convenience. It should not be about the convenience. I don't know what you think. We have more Kenyans who are willing to do this work. He's saying if the election officials are tired and cannot do another election, we have more Kenyans who are willing to do this work properly. Give them that opportunity. And this is, I found that the defense by Ruto and IBC lawyers, to me, was more of it was more of selling the fear, of talking about the transition, because the question of the transition, I don't think the Kenyan voter went there specifically for transition. They didn't go to vote because there is a transition. They went to vote because they wanted change of God. And that change of God should not be shortchanged at the altar of power. Because someone has an altar for power that I must get it. Come what? Come may. I don't think it is something that is prudent for all Kenyans to be taken in that altar. We must uphold the Constitution. Now, Willis Otieno made another argument on that IBC's position, and this is coming, I think this was coming in the wake of this question, that this came out, and Willis Otieno also addressed it. The issue of IEBC trying to demystify or demean the evidence of Azimio la Umoja or lack of the same. I'm almost speaking now like a lawyer. Or let me explain. IBC and Ruto's lawyers trying to underestimate or demean or demystify the evidence of Azimio la Umoja or lack of the same by a mere fact or a propaganda that perhaps Azimio la Umoja did not have agents all over the polling stations. This weekend, I have been at home in CIF. And one thing I have come to realize is that even in this place, there are William Ruto supporters. And there are the other candidates. There are people who support Shiri. I was in Bondo early in the morning. And of course, you could hear people saying, Nambona, mie nilipigia Wajakoya. No. The fact that not UDA did not have agents all over. Even Raila is doing a strongholds. Why is it that on the other side, there is no complaints of William Ruto's votes suppressed? Why is it that it's more of pointing out to suppression of Raila's votes in William Ruto's strongholds, but not suppression of William Ruto's votes in Raila Odinga's strongholds? Because much of it is being seen as we are nailing the judges want to nail Azimio la Umoja on the issue of the agents, all this is is a created story to make sure that they show the convenience of accept and move on. So I want to explain to you why exactly this issue about crisis, the transition crisis, got its way in the court. And this because that is where the focus is, especially on the political class. Now, but just before that, I want to bring you some good news. Are you staying in the country or in Europe and you would want to support your family by a solar power? I want to introduce to you the best quality of solar systems in the country. Visit powerafricasolar.com. They have amazing solutions that is affordable. And if you're staying even in US, this is the good news. They have branches in USA, in Nairobi, and in Kisumu. So this is how you can even do it. Now, after reaching out to them and you're staying in US, you can visit their offices in California and pay for the service. Then the installment will be done here in Kenya to your friends, relatives, and family members. What an amazing opportunity. And the best of it all, why are they saying it's the best? It's the best because the parts of the solar power they use are actually from Italy, US, and other European countries. It's simply the best. If you look at the photo that we've seen there, the photo that is in your screen, that is the photo of an installation in the USA, and they use quality. They provide quality services. I just realized that when I was just home, and I haven't spoken to some people who had installed, and I wanted to install. And when I reached out, I got that this is a solution that you guys can explore. Now visit powerafricasolar.com, their website, and have more information about the product. Now, straight to this. There was a deliberate attempt to drag Uhuru's hands in the Supreme Court case. And for some of us who have luxury of following most of these proceedings and following the lawyers in the social media spaces, especially in Facebook and Twitter, you will have seen a coordinated approach that the Supreme Court case was not of Raila Odinga, but it was that of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, yesterday, if you check David Ndii's tweet, there was a tweet there that he was saying that Azimio la Umoja are maliciously pushing for a rerun in Supreme Court, while if a rerun is called and there is going to be, and the 4 commissioners withdraw, so we become in a crisis, we get ourselves in a crisis, William Ruto will remain deputy president, Uhuru Kenyatta will remain the president, and Raila Odinga will go home with nothing. So I said, if that is the cost of getting the values and democracy of the country, so be it. So be it. Now that in Twitter, that tweet then shows you what was really the intention of dragging President Uhuru Kenyatta's name, especially the transition question, in the defense at Supreme Court. But can it be seen as a ploy to limit the reliefs of judges that judges could consider? Because while judges have the option of calling for a rerun and all the other options, of course, in my analysis, I'll try to look at that, pursue some other angles. But of interest to me can be that it is being told that it is creating a firewall to the judges, and the firewall is on a rerun. That in case of a rerun, we are going to get into a crisis. Of course, it's speculative of what can happen, but does it limit? Because one thing I can say is that at the Supreme Court, all the cards are on table. Nullification, not nullifying, calling for a recount, calling for a rerun, it must be. And with a wisdomic approach, the way they spoke, of course, you must expect that both sides might be shocked. This narrative of transition crisis is meant to deflate the truth and the justice line by Azimio lawyers. If you listen to Raila Odinga, Martha Karua, they insisted that they're going to Supreme Court to know the truth. Did we lose fairly? Or did we win and our victory was snatched from us? So that line of convenience is like, it's like telling someone that sababu sasa nyumba yako ishaanguka, we endelea tu, kama mtu ashakuibia, and because you are traveling somewhere, telling you just travel and go, because don't feel ushakata ticket and someone has stolen your phone and you've seen the person, so someone is telling you don't follow that person because it's going to inconvenience your travel. I don't think it should get to that. Kindly apologies. Of course, I'm at home and there's some kid that is being washed. Is it washed? There is some noises in the background, so kindly bear with me. Now, this would also be meant to portray Raila Odinga as a prime loser in the event of a rerun. That in the event of a rerun, there will be a lacuna, so things will move on. The convenience question, I don't know whether the convenience question will happen. The people saying that court should not nullify because of convenience. So if there is a rerun, and because the convenience is, there is also cost implication in it, should really step aside and say, I'm not vying. So should Uhuru continue? Because that's not even in the law somewhere. An interesting look at things here, and that is my bold analysis on this. Thank you for watching.